Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
Boar's Head invites you to enlighten your senses. Introducing Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken. Inspired by Japanese master chefs, our signature teriyaki glaze is crafted with garlic, ginger, and a hint of brown sugar, then paired with our tender, slow-roasted chicken breast for a flavor that's sweet, savory, remarkably bold. Boar's Head Ichiban Teriyaki-style chicken, the bold flavor of Japan, now at the deli. Compromise elsewhere.
TheWonderMill.com, the best grain mills on the market, with the ability to mill several items that many grain mills will not. There are 2 grain mills to choose from. The Wonder Mill Electric. It's fast and gives you a vast variety of items it can grind. The Wonder Junior Hand Grain Mill can grind a wide variety of things that even some of the most expensive hand grain mills cannot, including oily grains, nuts, and seeds. Learn more about the most resourceful tool that you may ever own. See all the exciting things that Wonder Mill can do for you and what you eat at thewondermill.com.
You've just joined the Prepper Broadcasting Network, where we promote self-reliance and independence. The views and opinions expressed are strictly those of the host or their guests. Visit us in the interactive chat room at prepperbroadcasting.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Prepping Academy radio show. I'm Forrest.
I'm Kyle.
We're here every Friday night live, and we just want to welcome you. And did you have a good week, Kyle?
That was pretty good. Got a lot accomplished.
Good.
Yep.
A lot accomplished.
That
tells me nothing.
Well, I can't say too much.
I know.
I mean, sworn to secrecy, legal binding agreements, whatnot.
Gotcha. Well, guys, thanks again for joining us. If you're on Blog Talk Radio, jump over to prepperbroadcasting.com and join us there. We have a chat room. There's discussion going on right now. And if you want to call in and listen ever to our show, let's say you can't jump on the internet, you can call in and listen. You can call in, ask a question too. But that number is 347-202-0228.
Question: how does one jump on the internet? Do you physically jump on your computer, on the router? How do you do that?
Yes. You're in the market for a new laptop. You need to try that.
They said Shakespeare had a vocabulary of over like 5,000 words, and the average American today only has about 1,500 words in their vocabulary. It's interesting.
Run, Jane, run.
Yeah, pretty much.
Run. So, also you can join us online at the website, Prepper Academy website. That's preppingacademy.com. We're doing a giveaway that's coming up. It's going to be ending in like 1, 2, 3 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
No, 3 weeks.
3 weeks. It is 3 weeks. Yeah. And we're giving away a sun jack, solar charger, taskbar, survival kit, a water filter by Sawyer Water Filters. So go and join our mailing list. That actually enters you into the drawing.
Yes.
So what we'll do is I have this random software. It will give me a number, and boom, we'll pick. It's in a database, so I can tell everyone's assigned a number in the database.
I guess I'll put that bucket up with all those cards and the numbers I put on them.
Oh, so you're writing down?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's It's the way we did it in the '60s.
Okay. It works.
Again, thanks for joining us. We're up to Kyle's conspiracy theory of the week.
God, it's hard to choose. There's a lot of stuff going on in the news.
I had to say, okay, before you get started.
Yeah.
As we came in tonight, you've already discussed 5 with me before we even got onto the show.
Dude, there's a lot going on this week. I listen to some really interesting stuff. I listen to stuff every day.
Okay, so which is the most interesting to Kyle?
It's really hard to pick because there's ones. I think I told you about the D-Wave quantum physics computer they developed. It was the first computers to actually use quantum physics.
So you're saying you're not picking that one, then?
I'm not going to pick that one. It's really interesting. People want to check that out. It's fascinating and also slightly scary.
Okay.
And it's not a conspiracy theory, but what it could, the results from that could stem off into a lot of theories. And then, whatchamacallit, Putin's chauffeur being killed. There's a lot of theories around that one.
Was that just an accident?
No, I wouldn't call that an accident. That looked like a very intentional act.
Why would someone want to kill his chauffeur?
There was actually someone that came out, I forget his position, the CIA, just here within the past few months, and basically said we should intimidate and try and kill off leaders of other nations like the Syrians, the Iranians, the Russians.
Chauffeur is a leader of Russia?
Well, no, but he's been driving Putin for, I think, 40 years, they said.
Oh, no? Okay.
So, I mean, not like he just, started this job last week and, got taken out. It was very targeted. I mean, you see the actual video of the car pull off into the middle lane between the highway, and then as soon as it sees his car, right into him.
Okay. So you're not going to pick that one either?
I'm not going to pick that one.
Okay.
What I'm going to pick is, and this is kind of near and dear to me, because, my wife and I for years have been into organic foods.
Okay. And
part of that being is getting away from companies like Monsanto. You might be familiar with Monsanto because they were also associated with Dow Industrial. And for those folks who remember a wonderful little product called Agent Orange, which was denied that it had any effects on our military for decades. This is the only thing I can honestly say that I would applaud Obama. Sorry, choked a little bit.
Did you just say that?
I actually did say
we're having technical difficulty?
He actually did say, set up a fund for those who suffered from Agent Orange effects to help them out. Now, granted, most of those men have, ceased to exist now. They've died off from cancers, etc. But if you do the background on Agent Orange and you look at all the birth defects that they've caused over in Vietnam, it's actually pretty horrifying. But part of the problem is now companies like this continue to produce products which are causing cancer and are mainstream in our food supply.
Don't they control our seeds?
They do.
All
they do.
Seeds?
And most of these seeds are products that will never reproduce. They're hybrids.
Right.
So that's why if you're a prepper, you want to make sure you get organic, non-hybrid seeds, open pollinating. But Monsanto is so vicious.
Which we call heirloom.
Yeah,
same thing.
Heirloom.
Yep.
But Monsanto is actually so vicious that they will actually drop seeds off along the side of a road so that the farms nearby who don't use their seeds get contaminated. And they will actually sit there and sue those farmers and take their farms away from them, claiming that they stole Monsanto technology and their patents. But that's not the conspiracy theory.
Oh my goodness gracious.
That's not the conspiracy theory.
Let's get to the one
the theory
you picked for this week.
It's all pertinent to this because
Okay.
it's actually come out that Monsanto's product, which they use in their infamous Roundup, glyphosate, has actually been found in vaccines.
Dude, I love that. You spray it on a weed and it's dead.
Yeah, you know what else does that?
What?
Boiling water or vinegar.
Oh, well.
Yeah, and those are safe. They don't cause cancer.
Okay.
So there was actually a open letter here from a research scientist named Anthony Samsel that came out here. This came out in New Hampshire. Basically sent a letter of test results on a number of common vaccines and proving that there's glyphosate in these vaccines that our children are given. And glyphosate is known to cause cancer. Guess what else it's also known to cause?
What?
Autism.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of people accuse that the shots that they give their kids can give them
Precisely.
autism.
I mean, there's mercury in a lot of these vaccines. There's been claims of aluminum being in them. A number of things.
So you think they're doing this on purpose, or is it by accident?
I think it's on purpose.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, how are you going to put something that kills weeds, kills vegetation? Why would you? What purpose would that serve to put that in a vaccine? You know that it causes cancer.
Well, I'm not a chemist, but there are some chemicals that are one molecule apart that one could kill you, and the other one is like sweet as sugar.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like bromine versus iodine. You know, back in the 1950s, there was two scientists who conducted all this research and basically said, iodine's poisonous, don't take it. So they started putting in bromides in place of the iodine. So a lot of our food products now has that in it, but now you have an increase in things like gluten intolerance. And guess what that comes from? The bromides. Whereas iodine doesn't cause that. And you need iodine for healthy
it is interesting
thyroid, etc.
That 25 years ago, I don't recall anyone being allergic to peanuts.
Yeah.
I mean, did we just not know it and people died?
No.
Or
the food has fundamentally changed.
The food has changed, and so people have people been lactose intolerant for 100 years?
I'm sure that there's been minute cases, maybe autoimmune deficiencies and diseases that have caused that sort of thing. But now we see those things growing at an exponential rate. And I mean, I've had good friends who have had autoimmune deficiencies where they've actually started taking iodine and basically been 100% cured.
So that's your conspiracy theory.
Yeah, because
but you're saying it's truth because there was a press release out.
It's the truth, but they're never going to come out and admit it.
Okay.
Monsanto and Dow Industrial and these pharmaceutical companies are so big, they will sue the living daylights out of whoever they have to make sure they cover it up.
See, I thought you were going to talk about. I was hoping you would pick the Hillary Clinton cough. I mean, she just had a cold, right?
No.
What?
No.
You saying there's something more to that?
Yeah. I mean, it's like Dr. Drew. They came out and were trying.
Oh, yeah, he got in trouble for that.
Yeah, he questioned her health conditions, and basically now that even the president of CNN was coming out demanding he apologize.
Right, I saw that.
Like, come on, if this is going to be the next president of the United States, which God I pray it's not,
right,
we have a right to know if this woman is mentally and physically fit for the position of office.
I saw something on Drudge that like 70% of doctors that have looked at her own film and her cough and says there's something serious there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I did see that. So that's so anyway, so we covered a gamut. In your notebook of conspiracy theories, how many are actually written in there?
I don't keep a notebook. You don't keep a notebook.
You don't keep a notebook?
No.
Hey guys, I do have to apologize. I've had the cold all week. Or a cold, not the cold, but I'm getting over it. So I apologize if you hear me in my voice. But so that's conspiracy.
Is that why you licked my cup?
Yes.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Dude. Hey, so next week is going to be interesting. I'm going to be at prepper camp in Saluda with 1,200 other preppers. I'm going to be teaching. I thought was one class, but it's two different classes. So I've been cramming two different classes into one, thinking I was going to have to just do the one class. Come to find out, they're two separate classes. Now I've got to redo my presentation and my class, and then I've got to add more stuff in there. So that's a good thing, I guess, doing two. But I'll be at prepper camp Friday night by a fire with a bunch of preppers. And you'll be at home.
Yes, and all I can say is if you're going to prepper camp, may God have mercy on your souls.
So that would be the safest place in the United States.
No, I'm saying because they're going to have to listen to you for 2 classes.
Come on, man. So I'm going to call in, and Kyle will be at his house. We'll be at two different locations trying to do a radio show.
Yes, and if for some unfortunate reason you're not able to join, think G-Man already said we're going to change this over to a rated R version of the show. And it'll be Kyle uncensored for 1 hour.
See, I don't trust Kyle for 40 or 58 minutes by yourself with open air, because I would think the troops would start mobilizing
Yes, they might.
to come to your house or wherever you'll be.
I'll say I'm here.
No, you need to use that software I taught last night, the class I taught last night.
Yes, I do.
And how to be incognito on the internet.
I will say I'm in Edward Snowden's living room with him.
Yes, in Russia?
Yes.
Is he still in Russia?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. But so that's what's going to go on next week. So it could be fun.
Well, it could be a rerun.
Or it could be just Kyle and G-Man talking.
Yes.
I'm not saying y'all wouldn't be fun. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Okay, tonight's topic is very interesting. It's bug out bags, get home bags, and everyday carry. If you don't know what EDC stands for everyday carry. That means you carry it
on your person 24/7.
24/7, even when you sleep?
You know what? I do usually still have my paracord bracelet on when I'm asleep.
You don't have your mobile.
No, I actually, you know what? I took it off whenever, at some point last night. That's when I wanted to.
Oh, yeah. So that's what we're going to cover. Bug out bags, get home bags, EDC. Every aspect. Who should have them? When should you have them? Where should you have them? How do you put them together? We're going to go in some of the details. This isn't a class on how to build it, per se, but kind of the concept behind it. And excuse me, goodness, this cold is killing me. The concept to have it. So I'm going to kind of interview Kyle. And the reason I'm going to interview Kyle is because we had a bug out bag night at our meetup.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Sure, everyone remembers that.
Kyle brings in his bug out bag that I think he could live at least a half year.
I mean, there wasn't that much food in there, but there was,
yours was huge, military grade, everything. Mine was a little puny thing that was completely. It was night and day difference.
Yeah.
And so, you apparently are an expert. I think we're both experts, but apparently you're more of an expert because your bug out bag was bigger. You won.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's more so my concept, my theory behind it.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
You weren't talking this much before.
I know.
What's wrong, Hillary? Forrest.
That's good. That's good. I have to shoot you now, but that was funny. So, what, Kyle? Okay. Is a bug out bag the first thing a prepper should do? One of the first.
It's one of the first. I mean, it's not the first thing you need to do, but it's one of the first. It's right up there because, it takes a while to build up all the food and resources and everything else. And essentially, you want to make sure your first 72 hours is covered.
Right. Okay. So would you build I'm new. Do I need to figure out my EDC, a get home bag, or a bug out bag? Which is first, or should they all kind of at the same time?
I kind of did mine backwards. I started out and initially I just built my bug out bag.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of went back and I was like, what's my everyday carry? And then I finally got to a point where I was like, all right, well, I'm going to build just a get home bag. And then eventually I adjusted that. There's 5 million different videos and comments and forums and everything out there. And lists, PDFs, everything. Everyone has some sort of input whenever it comes to a bug out bag. It's probably the number one prepper research item there is.
Right.
For me, it's come down to I learned my mistakes. If I was going to start out fresh, I would make sure, number one, what am I carrying every day?
Mm-hmm.
That's something you can do in half hour.
Or what do you need to carry every day?
Well, but basically, within reason. There's they have fanny packs. I know you're a big fan of the fanny pack.
Dude, I love the fanny pack. When it comes back, man, I'm going to rock it.
It's never going to come back.
I'm going to rock it. Oh, man, I love the fanny pack.
But I'm thinking really basic things, like little survival cards you can put in your wallet, your pocket knife, lighter, different little utility things you can put on your keychain.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere I go, I always have. There's 2 or 3 different types of screwdrivers I always have in my pocket. Carrying a Leatherman tool.
Right.
Those are great. Having a flashlight, things like that, basic necessities. And then obviously if you have your concealed permit, carrying a firearm, an extra mag or two on you, just focus in on that stuff first.
So let's start out with this. We're going to talk about what each one of them, their purpose.
Yeah.
So what is a bug out bag?
A bug out bag is essentially the crap has hit the fan. You need to leave ASAP. You don't have time to grab your 50 containers of food, etc. You just need to grab a bag, get to your car, and you need to get the heck out of Dodge.
And I knew you were going to answer it that way. My answer is different. Mine is when there's a emergency, it's a bag you can grab that has supplies for you and your family for a weekend to go to grandma's house because you've been evacuated, or it has everything you need that you don't have to go and start packing things. You can just take that bag. So you went the extreme, and I knew you would, and I set you up for that.
Yeah.
And mine is, it's okay for, soccer mom, soccer dad, just to grab it because they're being evacuated. A fire's coming towards their house, and their police are at the door saying you gotta leave now.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
But so you basically described my everyday bag versus my bug out bag.
Well, we'll get into that a little bit later. So what is a get home bag?
Hey, let's take a quick break.
Are you a prepper or homesteader looking to connect with like-minded people in your area? Looking to start your own preparedness group? Already have a group? Well, look no further than PrepperNet. PrepperNet is dedicated to personal responsibility, individual freedoms, and being self-reliant. PrepperNet has monthly meetings in over 100 cities where you can meet and learn with like-minded people in your area. PrepperNet, where preppers unite. Find us online at preppernet.com.
My get home bag is something that basically goes everywhere with me. I don't usually take it into work or anything with me.
So in your vehicle?
It stays in my vehicle, and it's essentially, the way I look at it is, if there is a crisis that requires me to get in my vehicle, those are my everyday items, everyday carry. They're on my person all the time. Now, if I need to get home, first I need to get to my car. Now, once I get to my car, then I have my get home bag.
You might have to foot it at that point. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll get into more details. So what in an everyday carry, I think you've already covered that, but it's items you carry on your person all the time.
Now I'm getting to my get home bag. And the way I've set myself up is, as opposed to having everything in that bug out bag, I've essentially layered my core essentials into my get home bag, because it's things that you're going to need anyways. You don't know if it's going to be a 24-hour emergency, 48-hour, etc. But there are items in there to make sure I'm getting to the next step.
And I do the same thing. It's kind of a modular setup.
Precisely.
So I have my everyday carry. So when I carry my multi-tool or my sidearm on my side, my get-home bag doesn't have another sidearm. My everyday carry stuff fits right in with my get-home bag.
Yeah.
Then, if I have to go to my bug-out bag from my get-home bag, the get-home bag essentially is a part of my bug-out bag.
Yeah.
And it all works together, but you just kind of take, almost if you had the perfect bug-out bag, you pick the 10 items you need or 20 to get home, then you take the 4 that you need to carry around with. Same thing. Yeah, that's kind of the mindset I do as well.
Yeah, I mean, mine literally has the clips and all the straps and everything to attach to my bug-out bag.
Yeah. Right, mine, same here. But mine doesn't look Army Tactical Digital Green.
Yeah, well, yours says what, JanSport on it?
Huh? It says what?
Hello Kitty?
No, yeah. Meow. So there's two types. There's an extreme.
Yes.
Would you say you're an extreme bug-out bag person?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's like the urban soccer dad, like me.
Yeah.
That I'm not extreme like you, but I plan like you have.
Yeah.
And we have, I guarantee you, our bug-out bags, what's inside.
There's a lot of similarities.
There's a lot that's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, we've taken photos and viewed each other's equipment and stuff, and so because we get ideas from that, right? Why are you smiling like that? I'm going to post yours on the internet, man.
No, that's
Okay.
not.
Yeah, your Depends. That was a smart one for you to carry.
That was for you.
Oh, okay. Okay. So would you say that bug out bags are different depending on your experience level?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who are going to have something on there. You know, everyone sees these little trinkets out there, and some of them seem really cool,
Mm-hmm.
but then by the time you add them into your backpack and you realize, holy crap, I just added 10 more pounds.
Right.
You maybe don't need the huge, you know, what is it, that company that makes the fire stoves that produce energy so you can plug it into your cell phone?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like, I have one of those. I bought that as, you know, an item to have, but I didn't put that as a bug out item.
Right.
That's like in a whole other level. That's like best case scenario.
Well, I have a ghost stove.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can put it on your backpack, attach it to your backpack, but that's not a part of my bug out bag.
Yeah, that stuff like that is like, you know, I go from everyday carry to my get home bag to my bug out bag to basically we have like bug out kind of trolley,
Mm-hmm.
you know, containers, 55-gallon Cobalt containers on wheels that all fit nice and snug into my truck bed. And those are like, you know, best case scenario, I have time to grab those. Perfect. I have items like that in there.
Okay, yep. So, let's talk about gray man.
You know,
what is a gray man? What's the definition?
I mean, the definition of a gray man is basically someone who is out in the public, but you would not think anything extra. It's like if you and I go out in public right now, and you're dressed in full camo, carrying a huge pack, and an assault rifle, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Versus me, who's wearing, you know, maybe a sweatshirt, carrying a school-looking backpack, pair of denim, and I'm just minding my own business.
Why did you switch that? I mean, because you are what you described me.
Now, and this is the reason too, is in an emergency, being realistic, if someone sees you have a backpack,
mm-hmm.
depending on what exactly is happening, people just want resources. They're going to go after you regardless.
Right.
If they see you have a backpack, because they're going to assume he has food on him, he has water, he has something.
So there's a mindset of, hey, if you're going somewhere, you shouldn't just walk down the middle of town when everybody's screaming and chasing and riding.
Precisely.
Okay. So the next question is, why do people need these items? Why do people need an everyday carry, a get-home bag, and a bug-out bag? Why do they need them?
God, there's countless reasons. I can't tell you how many times I've needed my everyday carry items just at work. Being stuck on the side of a road, something happens with, you know, your vehicle. Maybe you don't have AAA. Maybe AAAs aren't responding.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's an EMP. Maybe, you know, you witnessed a car accident and you're the first responder. You know, not that I'm advising anyone to try and do, you know, surgery on someone on the side of a road, but there's a number of things that can happen on a daily basis you should be prepared for.
And so when I teach at the meetup, I always tell people that what kind of things would you need from your house if it was burning down?
My bag.
Your bag?
Yeah.
Well, why wouldn't you need your photos?
Because they're backed up.
Because they're backed up on a thumb drive.
Yeah.
So the most important item in your house is now your bug out bag, because you have probably copies of your photos, all your emergency documents that you would need in that, you know, electronically.
Yeah.
It's all there. That's it. I mean, this ain't going to happen overnight.
No.
And we'll talk about that, but bug out bags take years to perfect. I'm not sure how mine changes on a monthly basis.
Mine's pretty steady right now. I haven't done too much to it. I've added a few things over the past few months, but nothing huge because obviously mine's massive. I don't want to really add too much more weight onto it.
I mean, how many yards can you walk before you have to take a break? Because yours is like 470 pounds.
No, it's like 70 pounds.
Holy cow! See, mine's like 36.
I can easily walk probably 3-4 miles.
Mine's 35 to 36.
Yeah.
Dang.
But here's the thing, and that goes back on my theory on the bug out bag. The bug out bag is not something I'm planning on lugging constantly. It's something that I look at as more of a advanced bag, resupply bag,
And you can throw things out as you go if you don't need them.
Precisely. Things that can shed.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question I have for you is, well, what does the government say about having bug out bags?
I actually encourage it. FEMA has come out in recent years, and they actually say you should have a 72-hour kit.
72-hour kit.
And, you know, not just our government, because not that I trust everything that they come out and say. Other nations are coming out and saying, hey, you know, war might be right around the corner. You should have a month worth of supplies or something to get you from point A to point B.
So FEMA and the government does encourage people to have some kind of emergency bag.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, there's actually checklists on the FEMA website.
So, right, okay. Yep. So how would one get started doing a bug out bag and an EDC, figuring out what their EDC needs to be, or a get home bag? Well,
they're very personal items. It's not something that's a blanket, you know, for everybody. That being said, there are a lot of websites out there that have pre-assembled packs, and I'm just going to be blunt. They're crap.
Do not ever buy one of them.
They're crap.
It's a waste of money.
You could literally go to Walmart and just get a bunch of crap, stuff it in a bag, and that's pretty much what you have there.
Yes, absolutely. I agree with that 100%.
It's overpriced.
Now, there are some people that they do make a pretty incredible bug out bag.
Yeah.
But it costs, I mean, when you see a good bug out bag, it's going to cost $500-$600.
And part of the reason is like mine. My bag itself, you're going to cringe, but my bag itself was like $300. Holy cow. But part of the reason being
my Hello Kitty, I got at Goodwill.
You got, for like $5.
Yeah.
But I mean, the bag itself is 1,000 denier ballistic nylon. I have the gun case in the back of it, so I can actually put a long rifle down there, comfortably carry it. Has a great frame to it. It's the most comfortable pack I've ever had. And I mean, I've had a number
That's not a
of
normal bag for most bug out.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
But I mean, if you're looking for it, find something that's comfortable. Go to a place like Gander Mountain, REI. Try on multiple packs.
Right.
REI is really great for sizing you up and everything like that. Get a nice Kelty pack. You're going to spend conservatively $100 to $200 for a piece
just on the bag.
Yeah, just on the bag. And it's important because you don't want to be on a 5-mile trek and into that, your shoulder strap rips.
Is it possible, though, for people just starting out, because that's a pretty hefty price.
It is.
Is it possible for people in the beginning, as they're building their bag, just to use like a duffel bag or a book bag?
Yeah, if you're just getting started out, by all means, you don't have to have the best.
Some other things are more important than the actual bag in the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Yes.
Because, I mean, like my first bag was, I think, actually it was a bag I had from Gap. And I just started assembling. And then as I had the finances to up my level, I think I actually went through 3 bags until I finally got to the point where I was like, this is the perfect bag for what I need.
Because if you ask me, what's more important, the bag itself or a gun? I would say a gun.
Yeah.
So, I mean, depending on your finances, buy a gun first, if it's your first gun, before you buy the actual $200 bag. Would you agree with that? I mean, so other things definitely more important than the actual bag. And so you can have duffel bags or book bags or things, but at some point you will need to get a real good bag.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so let's talk about your EDC. Now, we're not going to go through, we're going to probably go through all your EDC, but we can't do this for all the items. One thing we are going to do for the bug out bag, I found a great list. It's a PDF that I've been using when I teach my classes. I've been using it for years. And we're gonna post that on the Prepping Academy website under the archive shows. It'll be we'll stick it there and you can go view it. And it is a great baseline to start with. And it is very detailed, but we'll post that on the preppingacademy.com's website. So when we get back from the commercial break, I'm going to ask you what items you actually carry every single day and why you carry them. Okay? We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Hey, I'm Joe Alton, MD. I'm here to remind you that disasters can happen anytime, anywhere, and you need to know what to do in an emergency. The new 2016 third edition of the Survival Medicine Handbook is the essential guide for when medical help is not on the way. The Survival Medicine Handbook covers every issue you'll face in times of trouble, and it's all in plain English. Get the Survival Medicine Handbook at Amazon.com. I guarantee one day you'll be glad you did.
We have exciting news. You can now afford to have your own freeze dryer. That's right, for the first time ever, it's possible to have a freeze dryer in your home. It was invented right here in America by Harvest Right. With this new appliance, you can freeze dry your own food and it will last 25 years. Imagine freeze drying fruit, vegetables, meat, and your own homemade meals. It's as easy to use as a microwave. Learn more about this amazing home freeze dryer at harvestright.com. Again, that's harvestright.com.
Prepper's Asylum is the premier preparedness outfitter. They carry in stock and ship direct the products you're looking for. MREs, freeze-dried food, Kelly kettles, water filtrates, first aid and trauma kits, stoves, personal protection, self-defense supplies, and more. Prepper's Asylum are people just like you and I. Find what you're looking for and use promo code PBN at checkout to receive 10% off. That's promo code PBN for 10% off at preppersasylum.com.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us again. My name is Forrest. We got Kyle here. We are the Prepping Academy radio show. We come to you Friday nights live. I mean, this is live. Are you there?
No.
Oh, okay. Kyle is a quantum physics computer.
Yes.
We are live every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so tonight we are talking about bug out bags, get home bags, and everyday carry. And so my next question to you was, what items are in your EDC? What items do you carry every single day?
What do I have on me right now, basically?
Yes.
So I don't have my gun on me right now.
Because you're in my house.
Yeah.
You're pretty safe here because there's maybe a gun.
Well, there's a sniper on the roof still, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just during the show.
Yeah. We're well guarded.
Yeah. But I always have on me my spring-assisted Smith & Wesson folding knife.
Okay.
Obviously my keys, my cell phone with my programs on there for everything I need in case of emergency, contacting like Zello, Signal, fire. I have my fire starter usually, paracord bracelet, Zippo lighter, and like my little tools on there. I have like the little can opener on my keychain.
Right.
Has the Phillips head screwdriver.
You carry a multi-tool?
A lot of times I usually carry my multi-tool, but usually not when I'm on work because it's so bulky.
Right.
Just gets in the way. But yeah, usually that and flashlight.
Oh,
and my handcuff key. I never forget my handcuff key. You never know.
Where do you? Well, I'm not going to ask you where you carry it because I have a secret hidden one.
I actually have two on me right now.
Okay. So I carry. I have my paracord bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
I have a neck knife
mm-hmm.
that goes around my neck. You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
And on that, I actually have a ferro rod, a little small one.
Yeah.
I have a ferro rod on my shoes, my shoelaces.
Mm-hmm.
There's one on there. My multi-tool. I carry a pocket knife as well. It's a Kershaw pocket knife.
Okay.
Slim. I like. It's not one of the top dollar ones, but it's one.
Actually, Kershaw makes really good knives.
And I like it. I usually, out of my house, I always have, my pistol with me.
Yeah.
Almost everywhere I go, I'll have it, even at work. But that's so I can make fire. Yeah, that's it. Oh, I have a ferro lens in my wallet.
Oh, you know what? I actually did forget about that.
Okay.
I actually have a signaling mirror in there as well.
Okay, and I also have the a lock picking set with me at all times.
Okay.
It's a part of that that card that you can get from I forgot what
survival something.
Something. It's a card.
Ready Man.
Yeah. No, it's I forgot the name of the website, but it has a little lock picking set.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to learn how to use it.
I keep a lock picking set in my get home bag.
Right. Yeah. But that's what I carry with me all the time. I have a credit card knife, little credit card knife in my wallet, and that's about it.
Okay.
And the thing is, you've got to get in the habit of having this stuff every day. And this stuff comes in. Oh, and I have a little small flashlight, a little tiny one that I bought from China for like $3.
Hey, you unpatriotic.
I know, but you can buy it on Amazon for $9.
Yeah.
I mean,
Be
you choose.
patriotic, spend more here.
I can give more, I guess I can help Americans somewhere in Minneapolis that bought it from China, and I'm going to buy it from, he's going to make a...
Yeah, he's going to make the markup. I'd rather make the markup myself.
Yeah, and so My flashlight is cheap. It literally costs less than $3. I have 10 of them, and the first one has yet to give me a problem. So I still have it. I bought 10 in case.
They're LEDs, aren't they?
Yeah.
So they'll be totally useless after the EMP.
Sure. I guess. You didn't have to bring that up. So would you say that everyone's everyday carry is different?
Oh, yeah.
Would a woman be different?
Yeah, they can carry more.
Oh, yeah, they have a purse.
For God's sakes. Yeah, they can carry a lot more.
Don't you wish men could carry a purse?
No.
A man bag?
No.
No? Okay.
No, and not a fanny pack. Not a fanny
gosh.
pack. God almighty.
How about if it's camo fanny pack?
No.
No, okay.
No.
Okay, someone in the chat room said it carries bandanas. A bandana. So you're going to rob a bank?
Yeah, join a biker gang?
No.
I mean...
No. There's many uses for a bandana. Do you carry a tourniquet? Ever a tourniquet?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Typically, yeah. In my,
do you really?
In my bag. Yeah.
In your bag. We're talking everyday carry, though.
No.
No, okay.
I wear skinny jeans, so no, I'm kidding. I do not wear skinny jeans. Don't let that ever go out there.
Dude, I'm going to have to take a moment.
I give people so much
I'm going to have to take a moment and think about
jeans.
dead dogs. Hang on. Oh, okay.
Just think
that image is gone. Oh, gosh, that's gone. So, when you get home, you take these items out?
Yeah.
I do too.
I put them in my camo hat.
You always do wear a camo hat.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, next is your get home bag. What kind of things do you have in your get home bag?
Extra ammo, bivy sack, smoke grenade, flares.
You have smoke grenades in your
I do. I do have one. And this might sound crazy, but this is one of my reasonings. If I, for some unforetold reason, need to either create some sort of a diversion or say fake that I need roadside assistance and there's a bunch of smoke coming from my engine, I mean, it's there. It's a tool. There's a plethora of different reasons that you can. I mean, if you need to scatter a large group of people, if there was an emergency, you could throw something out there and they'll be like, "Oh my God, run! There's fire or something."
I really thought that's what an AK-47 was for.
I said scatter people, not.
No, shoot them. Just shoot up in the air. They'll run.
Yeah, those bullets fall.
I know.
They don't gravity.
Mythbusters said it wouldn't kill him. But go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, I don't trust them.
So you carry some crazy stuff in your get-home bag. So the get-home bag is to get you home. If you work 20 miles away from...
Yeah, and I also have, basic stuff, obviously, like, more fire-starting equipment, shelter, small tarp.
What kind of food? Do you have food in there?
I do, but I have, little survival bars in there.
Okay. Like Cliff bars or more like SOS?
Yeah, like the SOS bars,
okay. Because you got to have something... How about for water? What do you do for water?
I have a Sawyer water filter in there.
Okay. So, if you live in Florida, would your get home bag be different if you lived in Alberta, Canada?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Just because of the weather?
Yeah.
Could be
so
the temperature?
If I was in Florida, I'd probably keep an extra Speedo in there.
Boy, dude. And some suntan lotion.
Yeah.
That actually could be important.
Yeah.
I do have some in
shades.
Some shades.
Yeah.
And if you're in Alberta, Canada, what would you have different in there?
Obviously.
The hand warmers?
Yeah, hand warmers is a good one.
Uh-huh.
Probably, a fur hat.
Well, in Florida, you need a hat too, but you don't need a fur.
You need a fur hat.
Okay.
You might stand out a little bit. That might be taking Green Man a little too far.
Right. Yeah. So, so would you say that everyone's get-home bag is different as well?
Mm-hmm.
And it depends on your age, because if you're an older person or even someone young like me, us.
That wasn't even funny. That wasn't even.
But people are on medication. Would you carry medication if you're on medication?
Yeah.
Okay, because it could take you 3 days to get home.
Yeah. Look at it. We were just talking earlier before the show. We were talking about the show Jericho, and I'm completely new to it. I never got to see it, but think about what happens if the whole world goes into crisis and it takes you 3 months to get back to your home.
Dude, you always go, the whole world's going to end, don't you?
I'm hopeful.
Can't think you're hopeful. That's funny.
Hopeful.
You can't think there's an automobile accident that spilled chemicals on the way home and you can't get around it.
I have a 4-wheel drive truck that is a beast. I will find a way around it.
Okay. So, but your bug out bag and everyday carry and get home bag will it change over the seasons?
Yeah, definitely.
So in the summertime, you need different things than you need in the wintertime.
Yeah, so obviously like during the summertime, I take out my little, my down jacket that folds up into like nothing. I take that out of there because obviously I'm not going to be wearing a down jacket in the middle of summer.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Now, like your survival blanket, mine always stays in there.
I just have a little baby sack in
there.
there.
There's many uses for that.
Yeah.
So how about if you have kids? What do you do? I mean, your kids don't have a get-home bag. I mean, you're 30 miles from downtown. You got to think about who's going to be with you and how far you got to get home.
Yeah.
And so these things have to play, and you have to think through every one of them. Season, age, how many people, time of year, which is season, I guess, and where you're located.
Yeah.
So all these play a factor in every one of these. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
So a get home bag. You have that in your car?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have one in your wife's car?
No.
So screw your wife, right?
I mean,
not me, but no.
Yeah, we're not supposed to say that on the radio. No, it's one of those things where, honestly, she usually takes my truck if she's driving anywhere. Right. She usually stays at home.
Okay.
Homeschooling is, not exactly.
Is it important for a wife to have one, though?
Absolutely.
Most people?
I mean, if your wife's traveling along with the GPS locator you put in her purse, no. They have apps for that. No, but it's definitely important. And I mean, that's one of the things where I've given it more thought, and it's kind of, I would want to make sure that friends, family, loved ones, people I want to make sure are with me, they all have something. I was even telling a young guy today, like, you need to have something or don't come to me at all.
Right. What about if you have children that drive? Should you put something in their car, create one for them?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, my son has one.
And I kind of look at that as also you need to have like an emergency car, pack too. Like if you were to look in the back of my truck right now, there's a ton of items in there, everything from stop leaks to, transmission fluids, oils, all sorts of stuff in there that in case of an emergency with the vehicle, that's all good. That's its own pack.
Yeah, my family's screwed if something happens to a car.
Yeah, what do you drive? Subaru, some foreign
Mitsubishi. Yeah, it's just the fact we just don't know cars.
Are you an Asian spy?
Yes, I am. Asian? Why would you say Asian?
Well, because earlier you were supporting China, and now you're supporting Korea.
So how about so you should have one in your kid's car, and you should explain the items in there. I mean, how about your parents' car? I mean,
they're old.
Parents. I mean, a lot of parents are older. Imagine if you just put them away at like a space blanket.
In a resting home.
Yeah. A space blanket, some food, some water. I mean, that could really, because people have died by going off the side of the road or getting stranded with their car and not having basic items.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember growing up, that's one of the things, my parents always told me was, growing up, up north, you have to think about things like that. I mean, it's something as simple as, and it sounds crazy, but carrying kitty litter around in the back of my truck. Whenever I drive in the winter, I usually put the kitty litter back there to balance out the vehicle. And then also in case I go off the side of the road, I have traction. Pour the kitty litter down and be able to get out. Sounds crazy, but it's practical. It's saved lives before.
Well, I thought your truck could do anything.
Yeah, well, I haven't exactly ordered those, snowmobile treads to go on the back of it like they have for some of them.
They look bad, though, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so this bag that these people are going to build and put it in their car, it could end up saving someone's life.
Oh, absolutely.
Even when the crap doesn't hit the fan.
Yeah.
So that's like an insurance policy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think that's probably the difference. Some people are just not getting into this and they're thinking, wow, this is for survival. To me, it's like, and that's probably the same thing for you. It's common sense.
It's common sense, exactly. Can it be survival? Can it be doomsday? Can it all work in that scenario? Yes.
Yeah.
But can it work when you're in Atlanta, Georgia, and you get 4 inches of snow in like an hour, and all of a sudden The interstate is completely blocked and people are parked there for days.
Who would have designed an interstate that badly? Did that actually happen?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I know.
And people didn't have, they ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Because they kept their car going because they were cold. If they would have had a simple space blanket or a bag like this, they would have been fine.
Yeah. And thank God they didn't have to eat anybody to stay alive. That's happened before too.
Anybody.
Well, it wasn't Atlanta.
Now, when people go camping with you, do they all come back?
No.
Dude.
Only the ones that want to.
This is being recorded. Okay, let's talk about, this is a more serious thing. This is called, a lot of people refer this to as a BOB.
The bug out bag.
And so BOB is just an acronym for bug out bag.
And it was also a great movie. What about Bob?
What about Bob? Yeah. So we've determined, we've said this, and we'll say it again. We're going to highlight this in radio air. Do not buy a bug out bag that's pre-made.
No. If I honestly, most of them I see online are like red.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Number one, if you want to attract attention, particularly in the woods, of a wild
with a
animal,
red with a cross on it. I think they do have a cross on it too.
And if you want to attract a wild animal, red is definitely the color to put on your back. A bear will see that and think, "Ooh, neat."
Yeah. So don't buy it. Now, if we put one together, they should buy it.
Yeah.
Because we're experts.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't buy them online. So in the bug out bag, what kind of, just list some important items you have in there.
Well, for me, this probably goes back on the gun conversation, but I keep 300 extra rounds of ammo in there. I keep 60 in my pack for each gun that I would have on a daily basis.
Right.
For, just my get home bag, but then I have the 300. And like I said, I look at it as a resupply pack.
Right.
So I keep extra shelter in there, extra water purification, snares.
Snares, a way to get
everything.
Food.
Yeah, everything I need.
Do you carry food in there?
Yep.
Okay.
I do.
How many days of food?
3 days.
Okay. So everything you would need to survive in the woods.
Yeah, and change of clothes too.
So if you don't survive in the woods, that's a bonus because you don't have to use a lot of your resources. Yeah. If you found a barn or something like that, you don't have to bring out your tarp, and so you prepare for the worst.
Yeah.
And you hope for the best. Especially nowadays, you can't walk a mile in many places in America and not find some kind of structure. If it's a house, a barn, a gas station, or something. Not all the time you want to stay there, but that's an option. So would you say that, do you have, and again, we're going to post that list on preppingacademy.com, kind of a go-to PDF. Just look in there. You can kind of see the items people put in there, but it's very personal. Wouldn't you say your bug out bag is very personal?
Oh, there's none other like it.
And things you actually make to put in there.
Yeah.
So it's not something you can't buy everything you put in there.
Yep.
Like, and some of you guys might not know, but a good way to start a fire is a lighter and like cotton balls with Vaseline.
Yeah.
Because it burns for a long time. And it helps you start a fire easier than just, a match or a lighter. And so that's something you have to assemble to put in there. Would you say there's many things you assemble to put in your bug out bag?
I'd say maybe about 10% of the items.
Yeah, there's a good percent, because even your first aid kit, mine's custom.
Yeah, everything in there is custom.
I would say it's more than 10%. I would say about 40% of the things I have is custom that I have in there. Or I've taken a product and changed it.
Yeah, that could be more. Yeah.
Okay.
If you're including kind of customization, then I would say the number goes up probably 40, 50%.
Okay. So I don't have like a roll of duct tape in my bag, but I have several items that have several yards of duct tape around it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Like my axe handle
has
duct tape, so I can unpill it and use it.
See, I use Gorilla Tape personally.
Well, I actually have Gorilla Tape myself.
Yeah.
But they're very personal, and they do change over time.
Yeah.
Over time, you will learn, that's too heavy.
Well, the other thing is too is not only are they going to change, but if you can do this smart, say you're prepping for a family of 4 or 5, buy a lot of the items that you need in there, like paracord, the Gorilla Tape, stuff like that. Buy it in bulk, and then you can actually cut down the sizes you want. And then that's what I've done a lot with a lot of my stuff. Is then when we have the larger packs, like I said, kind of my 4th tier of the containers, I put all that extra stuff in there. And later on, for me, as long as I have those items, that's extra bartering. Those are extra resupplies that I have. Even sandbags.
So they're going to go to preppingacademy.com. They'll look in the show archives, and they'll see this list of bug out items that they're going to need to start building their bug out bag.
Yeah.
Once they put the bag, where do they store that? Do you keep that in your car?
I mean, some people do. I personally won't, just because, there's kind of been a rash of break-ins.
But you keep
lately.
it at your house, right?
Yeah.
You keep it out in the middle of the hallway? You just keep it in the closet?
Yeah.
Okay. So you keep it at home.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hide it or bury it somewhere out from your house?
No.
Okay.
I like burying guns.
Okay. How do you travel with them? When you go to your family's farm, do you take your bug out bag?
I take my get home bag. And the reason being is I've already distributed stuff up that way so that I have.
So let's say you go to the beach. Would you carry your bug out bag? Or you go to a friend's house in Georgia?
Yeah, I take my I
take mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
We go on vacation. I take it. And I think my wife and kids, they look at it and go, oh, because it takes up a lot of room.
Yeah.
Because when I do that, I have to pack a little bit more in there because they're not bringing theirs.
Luckily, right now, I don't have to worry about that because our dog's getting older and he has to go everywhere with us.
Okay.
So now we're pretty much it's either up north to families or it's staying home.
Okay. Do you share with people what you have in your bug out bag?
Do you mean, do I tell them or
do you discuss?
Because I was going to say, I'm not very good at sharing items.
Yeah, you're not very good at sharing
I tried to get around one of my chicken wings earlier and stabbed you with a fork, didn't I?
Yeah. So, but do you discuss it with other people, what you have in there, and compare items?
I'm proud of mine.
Yeah, you're very proud.
Yeah.
When you walked in at our meeting, people are like, gosh, and you're like strutting.
Yeah.
Like you're still team six.
And that's probably like one of the most important things is practice with your bag. And I don't mean take all your stuff out. Weigh your bag, see what it weighs.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Home Depot, get yourself a 50-pound bag of sand or a 25-pound bag of sand, adjust it, load up your backpack, break it in a little bit, go for a mile, 2 miles, see what you're actually going to be working with. If you have a treadmill at home, that's awesome too.
How can you test your bug out bag?
Like throw it at people?
No, test it.
That's what I'm saying. Load it up.
Load it up and go test it. Go out in the woods and
hike
with it and see if you can survive.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered, except every single item in a bug out bag. We've covered it all.
Yeah. And I think it's something we can go back to.
Absolutely.
In depth.
Yes.
And maybe we should even do like a YouTube video or something like that. Push it up on the website and compare and contrast.
Yep. So guys, we're wrapping up our show. Again, next week we're going to be live from Prepper Camp. Kyle's going to be live from his house, his truck probably. Actually, he'll be driving.
Yeah, I'll be driving. So if you hear this tremendous roaring sound in the background, you'll know.
Yep. Roar. And so, hey, do visit the preppingacademy.com. That's preppingacademy.com. We have a drawing or a giveaway that we're giving away. Sign up for our mailing list. Yes, this is a con job to get you the mailing list. I've only sent like 2 emails out in 3 months. So, and sign up for our giveaway. We have all our shows archived there. So join us. That's preppingacademy.com. And we really appreciate you guys listening. Any final thoughts?
How much time we got?
We got 1 minute.
We got 1 minute. What was that thing in Hillary's ear?
Oh, it was a pearl.
It was a pearl.
It dropped from her original. They couldn't find it. They lost it. No, it's a bug or whatever, so they could tell her what to say.
I thought maybe someone like popped her inside the head, and that was what was left of her brain.
Oh, her brain. Hey, again, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kyle. I'm Forrest.
You're Kyle. That's great.
I'm Forrest.
Yeah.
It's Kyle. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, at preppingacademy.com. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will talk to you next Friday night.
Week.
Live from Prepper Camp and from your truck.
That's an awesome show for my truck.
Dude, I can't wait for that.
Today's broadcast has come to you through the courtesy of the Prepper Broadcasting Network. See our hosts, show schedules, archived programs, and more at prepperbroadcasting.com. Thanks for listening.
Burger King presents Breakfast Stories. Today's story, Max and the Sausage, Egg, and Cheese Biscuit 2 for $4 deal.
Here's my opinion. I like the biscuit at Burger King. It's got that fresh baked smell. And your whole breakfast is in there. Eggs, cheese, sausage. And they're 2 for $4. You got it? Am I trending now?
Yeah, Max. Hashtag biscuits. Try a freshly baked sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit, now just 2 for $4, only at Burger King. This is not breakfast. This is a Burger King breakfast. At participating restaurants, limited time only.
Has your data been hacked? Do you feel uneasy about the vulnerability of your personal information online? Were you involved in the Target, LinkedIn, or Microsoft data leaks? Don't know? If not, then pay attention. Join Forrest Garvin from PrepperNet for a free webinar on privacy and security. Gain insights into safe internet browsing, VPNs, crafting online aliases, secure emails, detecting if your data has been hacked, and managing passwords. Secure your spot today for this webinar on privacy and security. It's free. This webinar delves into comprehensive strategies for bolstering your online privacy. We've got you covered, from fortifying your passwords to shielding your financial information and mastering state-of-the-art encryption techniques. We're offering 2 convenient dates to suit your schedule. Reserve your spot now at preppernet.com/privacy. Don't let cyber threats erode your peace of mind any longer. Take the first step toward a safer, more secure online experience by joining us for our free webinar. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to safeguarding your privacy. Sign up now at preppernet.com/privacy. We'll see you there.